From the Daily Wire, Maryland man Kilmer Abrego Garcia belonged to a Biden-backed group that called for abolishing ICE. And of course he did. Who is actually, wow, you mean that he belonged to a group that was backed by Biden? That's such a shocker. I mean, come on, of course he does. Illegal alien and suspected MS-13 gang member Kilmer Albrego Garcia was a member of the far-left organization that raked in cash from the Biden administration as it advocated for illegal aliens. Abrego Garcia, infamously and erroneously dubbed the Maryland man from Democrat politicians after he was deported to his home country of El Salvador, was a member of a left-wing organization called CASA, which lobbied on behalf of illegal aliens and is now advocating for the Salvadorian national to be shielded from deportation. And of course he should be. I've told you guys several times, okay, that when they say, like, you know, Democrats, they keep moving the goalposts. No. No, they don't. There is no goalpost, because that infers a sort of standard. There are no standards. On the left, there is only this. There is only power. Okay, that's it. There is only power. And so whatever gets you more power, well, that's what you use. That's what you see here. Okay, so none of this is new. Of course, this is what they wanted. And by the way, Democrats will come out and say, yeah, he has to stay. The group called to abolish ICE and runs campaigns to prevent local law enforcement agents from collaborating with federal immigration enforcement. All while the Biden administration pledged more than $5 million to the organization. All while the Biden administration, here's the thing. Because all of this is laid at the foot of Joe Biden. And rightfully so, which I totally get, but we all know, okay, there's no way Biden understood what was happening in the White House. He didn't know. Anyone who says, oh no, he totally knew when he was really with it. Okay, you and, you know, Karine Jean-Pierre are on the same wavelength. Okay, no, he didn't. He gets the blame because he's CEO. But man, none of this surprises me. It doesn't surprise me. It also openly identified Abrego Garcia, a suspected MS-13 human smuggler, as a member of the organization. Quote, CASA is outraged. CASA is outraged that ICE deported CASA member Kilmer there's another name too, Kilmer Abrego Garcia in violation of a court order and at grave personal danger, the organization wrote in a statement. Now, CASA falsely claims that the Trump administration disappeared Kilmer Abrego Garcia. The left-wing organization identified the suspected MS-13 gang member and human smuggler as one of its members in an April statement condemning his deportation and has remained involved in the case, with CASA representatives appearing to flank his wife at a recent press conference in Nashville, Tennessee. CASA, to which the Biden administration awarded millions of taxpayer dollars. Let's read that again. CASA. Okay, that's the left-wing organization with whom, Albrego Garcia is a member, to which the Biden administration awarded millions of taxpayer dollars. Oh, I'll bet you didn't know that you were actually paying for it. You see how you do that? See, that's your silver lining. Not only are they abdicating for him to live here illegally, you're the one paying for it. That's how they do it. Has offices across the Mid-Atlantic region, including in Maryland, where Abrego Garcia resided prior to his deportation. Included in the more than $5 million awarded to CASA by the federal government since 2022 was a $250,000 grant from the Department of Homeland Security. You mean to tell me Alejandro Mayorkas is awarding a $250,000 grant to an organization that shields illegals from deportation? I'm sorry, because that's the person that was in charge of Homeland Security. I mean, he is a traitor. Not an overstatement. This is unbelievable. Included in the more than $5 million awarded to CASA by the federal government since 2022 was a $250,000 grant from the Department of Homeland Security to fund innovations in citizenship preparation. Innovations in citizenship preparation. I wonder what that means. I know there's a link and I didn't click it, but I mean, it's going to be some sort of underhanded way to, obfuscate his responsibility to it. You know what? It always bugged me. Like he had been here for a while. I think he came in 2017. He'd been here illegally for a while. And it's always dawned on me, like, why didn't he just start applying to become a real citizen? Why didn't he start that paperwork? It doesn't make any sense. You really want to be here, but you're not trying to become a U.S. citizen. What gives? Why wouldn't he just outright try to become a naturalized citizen? CASA did not respond to a Daily Wire inquiry concerning Albrego Garcia's membership. Of course they didn't. In addition to offering support services to illegal aliens, CASA also pushes an extreme ideology agenda. The far-left organization calls for ICE to be abolished, calling it a rogue agency that has, quote, caused immense harm to our communities. See how you do that? See, they're actually the victims. Yeah, they're the victims. Abrego Garcia, he's the victim. Yeah, not the people that he's trafficking. No. They do it with impunity because they can get away with it. If you're wondering why, wow, this is really brazen. Yes, it's brazen. That's why it's brazen, because no one in the Biden administration was ever going to hold them accountable. What's worse, they were funding it. The organization notes that it is currently working to pass legislation in Maryland that would prevent local law enforcement agencies from working with ICE to identify and apprehend illegal aliens. The group is also advocating for legislation that would prevent ICE from obtaining identifying information from Maryland's state and local agencies, shielding illegal aliens from being identified by federal immigration enforcement agents. So, yeah. By the way, the shocker, here's the shocker, you're paying for it. They're getting grants, they're getting money from you. I don't know why you're looking at me, they're getting money from you. Why are you giving them money and then, demanding, mass deportation? I don't understand that. You're really confusing me here.